What's good, y'all? We got Black Americans versus Haitians. Beef is getting worse. We on the road to 100K, okay? If you want to hit that like button, subscribe button, and turn on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. Shouts out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Let's see what it's hitting for.
I want you guys to keep saying that the U.S. destabilizes your country. And I hear that. You know what? I hear that. But I really can't give you guys any grace because the U.S. destabilizes the black community.
Today is June 28, 2025. I'm doing research for a completely different video when this pops up on my newsfeed.
The Department of Homeland Security is eliminating temporary protected status, or TPS, for Haitian nationals who will have their legal status and work permits revoked in early September.
Now, temporary protected status happens for certain individuals of certain countries that have been destabilized, such as Afghanistan or Haiti. And what happens to certain individuals coming from said places is that they get temporary work permits and they're allowed to stay in the United States for 18 months. Now, Haitian nationals, along with other people, allegedly this is ending in September. And I noticed once this happened, there became a lot of back and forth between the Black American community and Haitians online. And for me, I never really saw a lot of Haitians and Black Americans going back and forth. I mean, I saw it more with Jamaicans and then like Africans, like Nigerians. But Haitians, I never really saw it so much. And oh yeah, I remember this. Rewind! I remember watching an interview of a Haitian guy who got his citizenship in Florida, and he talked about a time in which, where he lived, Black Americans used to jump Haitians. And when Black Americans were beating up on Haitians, they formed the Zoe Pound or Zoe Pound gang because they had to defend themselves against Black Americans who kept bullying them. And that even became a story that I heard in other places online.
I'm bringing this up because I watched this video about how these black kids in Elizabeth, Florida were attacking these Haitian girls. And they were black boys specifically who were beating up and punching Haitian girls. And then when I did a little bit more research, I found out that in Florida, they used to have a thing where it was called Haitian Day, where the black kids would go out, the Black American kids would go out of the way to attack Haitian kids. Now, for those who don't know why this is significant, it's because Haitians are the same goddamn color as me, which my grandmother and my dad's side is Haitian, so that might be why. But the point is, they're the same.
I thought Haiti was
they're clearly black,
in cahoots with America.
And there's little micro racism in between warring minorities. This ain't nothing new. You see this sometimes with the Mexicanos and the Hondureños. You see sometimes with the Guatemaltecos and los Mexicanos también, con los Dominicanos Haitianos también. But for it to come from a specific group of people, Black Americans, from it to come from us, when we grow up having to deal with racism and hate from the color of our skin, is just some really hypocritical to see it. I wanted to just make a video talking about this.
But then I came across a guy that's on Instagram. His name is hood_smart_. He's a pretty good content creator, right? I've been going through his content. He challenges that agreement.
So I'm gonna say this. There's this narrative, especially down south in Miami, that Black Americans used to beat up Haitians. And we used to have this stigma on Haitian. There used to be a Haitian Day. We used to whoop their ass.
If that's the case, that's probably one small little... I'm not gonna sit here and say that's a whole goddamn movement that they was really out here doing. That was probably one little group of people doing that to one little group of people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I doubt that was a real big issue.
So I'm gonna say this. There's this narrative, especially down south in Miami, that Black Americans used to beat up Haitians. And we used to have this stigma on Haitian. There used to be a Haitian Day. We used to whoop their ass. But my only problem with this accusation is, how do you know it was Black Americans? So despite having Kodak Black down in South Florida,
right?
And despite
he
what
from the zone,
might say, a Florida 954 fast pitch music might say, there's a lot of different groups down here in Florida. You have a lot of Black Americans. You have a lot of Dominicans. You have a lot of Jamaicans. So who's to say it wasn't these other groups of people besides Black Americans? And why do Black Americans take the whole cake for bullying Haitians? Why us? Why not these other groups of people?
Why does it just have to be such a divide within the race itself, bro? I don't understand.
I don't know if y'all noticed about particularly Jamaicans. But Jamaicans are the only Caribbeans who are able to completely turn off their accent and act like a whole different group. They could talk white, they could talk black very good. You would never know. Patois is damn near English. So how you know it wasn't a Jamaican cross-playing as being Black American or Dominican? These other groups that are from the islands, they have personal reasons to not like you. Black Americans, especially since you got here, there is no personal reason not to like you. So I'm not saying we wasn't there or wasn't involved, but I'm just
Why would y'all even come to America, bro? Knowing the history and just not want to like just have all the hatred in the world for the Black Americans. I'm sure it's some because of the culture difference, you know, just like the Africans that, you know, but you're coming to America, bro. I think it's a very small percentage of the you know, of the of the other of the other cultures, national, whatever you want to call it, that's actually doing that, bro. I think that's a very small percentage, bro.
there is no personal reason not to like you. So I'm not saying we wasn't there or wasn't involved, but I'm just asking the question. Why do we take the cake for leading, beating up Haitians and nobody else?
So what he says is pretty interesting. First of all, he's saying, listen, I understand that, you know, some Black Americans may have bullied Haitians, but whenever we talk about Black Americans bullying Haitians, we're not the only groups that are in America. There are other groups here, such as, you know, Jamaicans and other people in the islands and stuff like that. So why do we get all the slack when it comes to, you know, the bad publicity? And
why would they move to America just to hate white people, the Black people here, the Asian people here? Like, they could have just stayed where the fuck they were at, bro. I think it's a small percentage, bro. Let alone if you're staying here for 18 months.
Thinking about this in general, whenever I understand other groups when they celebrate their achievements, you know, I notice it's always like hashtag like, you know, Nigerian excellence, or hashtag Jamaican excellence, or hashtag Trinidadian excellence, right? And we don't get to, you know, participate in whatever their group achieves, you know, as Blacks in America or Black foreigners in America. But whenever the negativity comes upon the community, whether it's anybody else, if it's a Trinidad that commits a crime, or if there's a Nigerian that commits a crime or anything like that, it automatically falls on the Black community. I remember there was a Nigerian American that committed a murder in Dominican Republic, okay? And basically,
I am an independent insurance agent. First Connect was perfect to start my business. They do,
you know, this was a prostitute that he had killed, and then automatically all the African American passport bros got blamed for that. If that same person from the Nigerian American community, you know, basically graduated Harvard Medical School, that person would be Niger excellent.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the you think you is?
Now, as a Black American, I gotta be honest. That is true. We don't get to participate in elements of Black success with anybody else, right? But when there's a criminality, and that does get dumped on our community. And then I noticed that even on this brother's page with Hood Smart, there started to become more online debates, not only on his page, but on TikTok, about Haitians versus Black Americans.
Right. This is the thing, and we're going to speak facts. Black American men make up the majority of the prison systems. And I'm going to tell you this.
Not a fact, and I can pull up the numbers.
It's factual.
Okay, it's not a factual.
So, brother, my question to you is,
No facts.
my question to you, brother, is how do you expect us to feel about you, who's coming over here and extracting our resources? You try to move the goalposts talking about some Black man in jail cells, but you didn't answer my question. How am I supposed to feel about that? Answer that question.
Okay, I wasn't trying to move the goalposts.
You did.
And this is the thing. I wasn't trying to move the goalposts, but it's like,
It's not, the nigga's not even bro, he's not even actually from Haiti, bro. He's probably just Haitian, his family. That nigga sounds like he's American, bro. They got accents out there, bro. They don't speak just straight English, nigga. They speak fucking French in Haiti, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? They speak French, my nigga. Let's Google that to fact check it, nigga. What language do Haitians speak? Haitian Creole and French. Telling y'all niggas, bro.
How you gonna take advantage of your resources from prison?
Nigga
And it's
has
like,
no
what we know is
accent.
facts. Black Americans make up 13% of the population. And it's one of the women said it.
What are you even saying?
Like, you moving too fast. I gotta catch you. What does that have to do with the things that we built?
So the guy starts to talk about, well, how many Black Americans are in jail? Like, you guys lead the prison population.
What does this have to do with
again,
anything?
we got to also look at that, because when you talk about Black American or African American, included in that prison population would be Haitian Americans, would be Jamaican Americans.
Right.
Okay. So even he's included in that number if he's now a Black citizen, right? But here is something that the brother Hood Smart asked him.
What have Haitians built since they've been in America?
And look, and I'm gonna say it again. I can't speak for who else you had on this panel or who you go back and forth with. I know since I've been here, I never took away that anything that Black Americans have done here. And to answer your question, I'll be honest with you. From my knowledge and from my research, since Haitians have been coming here, because they wasn't brought here.
Bro,
I don't see what like big
Haiti
invention
is
or big,
so fucking
technology.
small, my nigga. What's the population of Haiti, bro? It's probably not even a million. Oh, damn, it's 11. Goddamn. That's actually more than I thought it was gonna be, bro. Goddamn. That's a lot of people on that small ass island, bro. And that's just Haiti. You know, Dominican Republic, I think, is like half the island. So basically 12 million. That's a lot of people, bro. I didn't know that.
From my knowledge and from my research, since Haitians have been coming here, because they wasn't brought here.
That's actually compared to Black America, bro. Black American population.
Yeah, they broke up in a beat.
48 million. Yeah. That's a good percentage compared, bro. It's a good ratio.
I don't see what like big invention or big technology breakthrough. Like, nah, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in 100 years.
I mean, but let's be real. You know, outside of like music and entertainment and, you know, what has Black people, you know, really built since slavery? My nigga, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got no schools, we ain't got no bus stops. Ever since the Black man became U.S. citizen, they ain't built shit. Be real. We've been feeding off the government, nigga.
So we can agree that Haitians haven't came over here to build nothing. What have Haitians built in Haiti so far?
I mean, Haitians in Haiti. All right, Haitians in Haiti. I feel like Haitians in Haiti.
No, y'all ain't building. But you over here.
I've seen a couple Haiti documentaries. I need to watch some more, low key. Now that I see that their population is 12 million, I never would have got that from watching them documentaries. Cause you know what they do? They only show us the worst of the worst, bro.
He asked him a question like, what have you guys built in America? Right? And that's a tough question to ask the guy, but he asked him this. This is not to say that Haitians don't contribute to the United States economy, or that Haitians don't do great things for, you know, their communities, or even for, you know, like I said, in America in general. I actually love Haitians. I don't have an issue. But these arguments are coming out now since about like the last 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm also starting to understand that a lot of Black Americans are lacking sympathy for Haitians.
So when you guys get up on here and try to make excuses and say, "Oh,
Bro,
the U.S. destabilizes
to think
us,"
to think that Haiti is a whole Black country, you really got to think back at like slavery times. Like, bro, niggas did not. If you talk about a ship, niggas might have really came from Haiti, if anywhere. Niggas ain't coming from like. Let's be real though. That's the closest place, nigga.
But these arguments are coming out now.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, bro. Black people was already in America, bro. I refuse to believe so.
Their communities, or even for
believe other.
Like I said, in America in general. I actually love Haitians. I don't have an issue. But these arguments are coming out now since about like the last 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm also starting to understand that a lot of Black Americans are lacking sympathy for Haitians.
So when you guys get up on here and try to make excuses and say, oh, the U.S. destabilizes us and that's the reason why, like, I feel you, but it's still...
In what way does the U.S.
disable
Haiti?
And quite honestly, let's be honest, America is your liberator. That's why you guys come here to have a better life. Because America is your liberator. You guys constantly say that America is your oppressor.
Well, I know their government is fucked up out there.
America is Black Americans' oppressor.
Nigga, Haiti is at fucking war, my nigga, with each other, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, y'all, you want to talk about illegal immigrants? Them Haitians are fleeing Haiti and going to Dominican Republic, bro. You know what I'm saying? They coming out here, bro. You know? They trying to get the fuck out of Haiti.
So if we can fight the destabilization that is happening within our own countries with our neighbors and still fight, why can you guys not fight when these people have to get on a plane or a boat to come over to your country and destabilize it?
I like welding because if you do a good job and you work hard at it, it's very rewarding, and the money is...
Now, again, I start to look
in
more
what
at what's going on in the comments.
Like, because I know that he'd be having a gas issue out there, like a gasoline issue. In what ways,
I start to look more at what's going on in the comments, and I'm starting to see Haitians clap back. And listen at this one.
Black American Floridians, you see that? We built up Florida. We the ones who done laid down the foundation, built every Black Wall Street in Florida, built all the Black neighborhoods in Florida. From Rosewood,
they got Black Wall Streets in Florida?
All the way down to Overtown in Miami, Black Wall Street, known as the Harlem of the South. We built that up. Last time I checked, we the ones who fought in the Florida Seminole Wars as Black indigenous for 100 years plus, handing out straight BTAs with no help. And we damn sure wasn't defeated. We just assimilated. The foundation was built by
there wasn't
us.
No Haitians.
Everybody else is just occupying space. And you know what we call that? We call that leeching. As Black Americans, I think it's time for us to start claiming Florida more. Name dropping all our achievements in Florida. From Miami all the way to the Panhandle.
A lot of Haitians out there in Florida,
if anybody
bro.
question you about it, ask them what they built since they've been here. And wait for a response. I bet you won't get one.
Now, in this situation,
I definitely see, why people would be mad, at Haitians and Jamaicans and Africans. You know what I'm saying? Like, they coming over here using resources, but yet they don't fuck with us and they hating on us, this, that, and the third. I see the frustration for sure.
You hear a commenter going back and forth with the guy, and I believe this was on TikTok. He just happened to repost it on TikTok, but basically he reposted on Instagram also. And the guy is saying Miami will always remain Zoe's, period. And so what Mr. Hood Smart is saying, well, what have you really contributed to Florida? Like all of this, like the Black Wall Streets in Florida, everything you see in Florida, Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman, all of those schools that you see were for Black Floridians and not for you. And I think that when we start really looking at the beef between the Black communities, we got to start being mindful of what we say. For example, I'm in Uganda, I'm in Kampala, right? And let's say a group of us start doing well here. We can never start to say Kampala will always be for Black Americans or hashtag FBA period. And one of the reasons why you can't say that, I don't care how good you're doing in the country, is because, well, you're going to offend some people who actually did develop that for anybody, right? Like whatever I'm doing in Uganda right now, despite the problems the country has, I gotta pay homage because I couldn't run this business if the country didn't have a certain level of infrastructure. I could be in a different African country that wouldn't have this infrastructure.
America's different though. I definitely see that, but America is a mixed country, man. You know, so whenever you see other groups, America is vulnerable to anybody but white people taking them over. And I said this before, bro. If another group surpasses white people in America, America will no longer be the same, bro. It won't be America. You know?
Structure that wouldn't give me an opportunity. And I am,
even though right now it's mixed, you know, it's still in the hands of the whites. You know?
getting an opportunity from being here. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. And so what happens is,
So I think one day, you know, it'll be a long time though. But, you know, America might be, it might be a whole race, a whole group, culture, whatever, might take America over one day. It has to get big. And right now, the Hispanics is looking like they on their way. They just passed black folks. It's hard to take the white people out though, bro. You know. They having families, nigga. They ain't having the family problems we having, you know, as far as like the struggles, you know.
is it causes friction in between black groups. And so what I notice is that conversations like this that happen between blacks, and when I hear certain things like this, one of the things that I start to do is I just stay out of it, right? And I think that that's something that we need to really look at when we going back and forth with people online and the conversation starts to become negative and it's to a point where it's not leading anywhere. We end up
y'all just talking about y'all gonna kill each other, fight each other. That's all it's all I say. It's a divide, bro. You know, I understand the frustration. I think that's a small percentage. I think the ones that come over here, I feel like hell, you should respect it. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna come over here, you should respect and you should fuck with the black people, the black Americans. You know, cause you coming over here for the resources and whatnot. You know, so why would there be any type of hatred? You know, if that's the case, you could have just stayed where you from, because it's not just black people here, it's white people. So you mean to tell me you fuck with them but not us? That doesn't make sense. You know, so I think that's a small percent. I think a lot of people that come over here, especially the ones that do have money, bro. Then again, it just depends on the person, for real, man. It really just depends on the person, man. Everybody's different, bro. But
become negative and it's to a point where it's
just
not
a
leading
divide,
anywhere.
man.
We end up getting back to back and forth disagreements, which again, it just causes more animosity. And the thing about it is, this guy who says Miami will always remain Zoe's period, he don't represent all Haitians. Like, that's the one thing that we got to understand. He's saying that, but that don't mean that everybody else from Haiti that cares about that. Most people, what I found out is, if you can give them an opportunity and if you're a good person, they're gonna rock with you for the most part, individually of whatever beef is supposed to be happening, right? No matter if they Jamaican, if they Caribbean, if they FBA, if you got something to offer and you a solid person, they gonna rock with you. A lot of times with Black Americans,
imagine being able to build anything for any reason, in any style.
You may not know, it's like on Africa, a lot of Africans would rather deal with Black Americans than to deal with other Africans. And like a lot of the FBAs may or may not know that, but that's something I always notice. You will have people, if you were to go to Haiti, I'm pretty sure, you will have Haitians that will want to work with you.
Yeah, of course.
Other than working with their own group. It shouldn't be like that, but that typically is the case.
That's why I say it depends on the person, bro. You're gonna get those people, and then you're gonna get the people who aren't like that. I think it's a smaller percent though. I think the most of the people who come over here do have respect, bro. You know, because what are you coming over here for in the first place? Just to come over here and not want to fuck with nobody. You're outnumbered. Relax.
And that could be said from us to a certain degree or whatever. So a lot of times when you make a comment like what this guy said, Miami will always remain Zoe's period, it makes other people feel like, oh man, well all of them are like that, even though that's not true. But
That
I
nigga's
saw
probably
this particular
fucking ain't
comment
never been
and
to
it made
Haiti in
me
his life.
think of something different.
And when we get into the conversations about, you know, how other parts of the black diaspora talk about their parents told them don't ever bring black Americans home, never am I ever talking about Haitians. Never. Because when you really think about it,
How are you
the way that we
coming? How are
talk
you coming to America and saying that though? And you're black. I mean, I could see that from like a India person. You know what I'm saying? Like a Muslim or something. You know, they definitely be on that shit. You know, I could see that. But if you're fucking Haitian, I mean, I get the culture difference, but why did y'all even come here anyways? Cause is it not better than, I don't know. The hood mindset is definitely toxic, I could say, you know, and I'm sure they see that, you know, so, you know, that's probably what they think of us, you know, so, I mean, I get it, I guess.
about us, it's kind of how they be talking about Haitians. And I've never had that problem with
And if that's the case, if the majority of them are coming over here and just hating, then it goes back to America being mixed. Then it's vulnerable to any group overthrowing the white people at some point in history, and it's gonna happen. You know, I want to see the world. You know, I don't want to live in them times for real, cause I know it's gonna be war and destruction. But I want to see the world just change. You know, especially America, because I hate how this shit was built and how history and what we was taught in school. I hate all that shit for real, you know. But it wouldn't make me who I am, and it wouldn't make us who we are today. So hey, gotta love it at the same time, I guess.
ever.
And also this one.
I don't know if this is a Haitian thing or a black people thing, but they'll talk the whole time they're eating your food and still eat the whole plate. Still eat the whole plate. I don't care what nobody say.
Who?
Like every bite, they're complaining.
Who?
Every bite. Oh
Black
my
people
God,
or
it's so
Haitians?
judgmental, especially them people that knows how to cook. Like if you know how to cook, every bite, they gonna complain.
You notice
that
how
could use some
like
cayenne.
Black America though is the only one that's goes off of color. Black and white people, right, are the only ones. America's the only one that go off that color shit, black and white. You call somebody you take a white person from Europe, you call him a European. You know, you call him an Italian, a German or whatever the fuck, you know, but they're still white. But they call themselves German. They don't call themselves white. America's the only ones that do this. Black people in America is the only black melanated people in the world that call themselves black. Because white people, the Europeans gave them that. That's crazy. It's crazy to really just sit here and think about all this stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Every bite, they gonna complain. That could use some cayenne.
Think about it. The only two colors, the only two races that go by color is white and black. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. That's the only ones that go by color, bro. This shit is programmed deep into us, bro. We gotta quit with this divide shit, bro. This program is too deep, my nigga. The Matrix is real.
Every bite, they gonna complain. That could use some cayenne. That could use some
damage
Cajun.
is real, my nigga.
That could use some bell pepper. Like, dang, if you don't like it, put the fork down.
Whole time niggas probably just came from Haiti.
Big back.
Got him.
Now, the first
Niggas was already in America. You can't, if niggas was in Haiti, niggas was in America. Cause we're Haitians didn't just come from America, did they? After no. So where was they at the whole time niggas was coming from the ships? They was there? Man, you can't. Come on, we need answers. We need answers. We'll never get them because they'll never update the history books, bro. Never. The history is wiped away, bro. This is insane, bro. It's nothing we can do. We're cooked.
Occasion. That can use some bell pepper. Like, dang, if you don't like it, put the fork down, big back.
Got him.
Now, the first sister says that, you know what? Haitians ain't never did nothing to her. And then another person tried to bring out a similarity between Haitians and Black Americans, criticized but still eating all the food. And why do I want to lead with that? Well, this is what I found out. You're going to have
Monday.com is the best AI.
She's saying Haitians eat all the food or Black Americans eat all the food?
Distinction in between all groups, right? People can go back and forth online or even in person. But here's what I want to say. You still got to be careful of who you judge. Not all people, again, I'm going to say, are like that. You got a lot of Haitians, Jamaicans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Liberians. Like, I was in Kenya the other day. When I look at the Matatu bus and when I see who's on the bus, I'm seeing Michael Jordan.
This is all just internet political bullshit, bro. I'm telling y'all, man.
I'm seeing Kobe Bryant. I'm seeing Ice Cube. I'm seeing so many people giving so much respect to the hashtag culture of which we come from. Like, I see
there's always going to be racists and haters and stuff like that in every race and culture, bro. And within this, and within them. It's just the way it is, bro.
Many people
y'all gotta quit. Whenever you walk outside, put the phone down, walk outside and look in real life, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Look in real life.
Like when the baby.
Is that the baby? Hell no. That nigga tweaking with that, boy. That head, my nigga. Underneath that hat, he got some hair though.
Comes to Africa.
God damn, boy.
When Chris Brown comes to South Africa, it's a lot of respect going on there, right? And people do love us worldwide. We got to always remember that. Even though we may have disagreements with people in the diaspora, you are loved in a lot of places around the world. That's just the truth.
It's just like the same Black people in the comment section that say, oh, you're not even Black. Why are you saying the N-word? Stop saying it. Whatever. It's white people that say the same shit. But in real life, bro, that'll never happen to me, bro. Never. And if it is, bro, we're gonna be fucking fighting. It's not even the fact that it's like, oh, I'm just gonna fight over that. It's just the fact that you're really just you have that much courage to be that disrespectful over something that's not even that serious. Like you're that disrespectful. At that point, you are racist. You know what I'm saying?
Worldwide, we got to always remember that. Even though we may have disagreements with people in the diaspora, you are loved in a lot of places around the world. That's just the truth, right? And another thing too is you can still work with some of these people, and we got to keep in mind of that. Like,
now I ain't gonna lie though, some of the older people though. They do be saying like, they be saying a little slick shit about me being mixed and light skinned and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't never gonna take it extreme though. You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't feel like
cause I know my partner dad, he always his dad. Anyways, we not gonna speak on
some of these people,
all that,
and we gotta keep in mind of that. Like, you shouldn't feel like because some people are disrespecting the community online, then they all do. You can get a lot of opportunities working with people that you don't know, and that's in the Black community, that's in the Haitian American community, that's in so many communities. I've been literally helped beyond my wildest dreams by almost everybody. The celebrity junk, the thing that really blew my channel up, was created by a Kenyan by the name of Satati. You know what I mean? I got help from Dima, who's a Russian. I mean, so many people have helped me in my life. Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was able to do some things for my mother working with Kevin Samuels that I couldn't do from anybody in my life. And I met him for only like 4 or 5 years of my life. The world is like that, okay? And you need to be mindful of, hey, yeah, there are some people who think like that. And there are some people who are going to just judge you based on who you are. And if you're a good person and you got value, they're going to rock with you and they're going to respect you and respect what you have to offer. And I have never had that issue with Haitians. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't had it. But hey, I've met good people that were Nigerians. I met good people that were Ghanaians, that were Ugandans. I also met a lot of bad. As we keep developing as black people, and even within the hashtag FBA community, not everybody hates you. A lot of people like you, all right? And you're gonna have some people that don't come correct, but a lot of people and many people will come correct. And we still gotta have that opportunity to let people,
bro, it's a small percentage, bro,
work with you and you work.
And people who are successful are not worried about none of this shit, bro.
With them, and if there's mutual respect, why not go for it? You're gonna have disrespect with people in any community, but you shouldn't let that be the reason as to why you can't work with them. A lot of people around the world can bring you a lot of opportunity and a lot of money as long as you just keep an open mind. I don't want people to think that because you have online beefs everywhere, that will close you off, that everybody's like that. Please don't do that. You can still make friends out here and make a whole bunch of opportunity for yourself. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea D Jackson.
You create your own reality, bro. If you want to sit on here and go to war, you know, about fucking Haitians versus Black Americans versus Africans versus, then you know, that's gonna be your reality. You're gonna be at war with yourself, with them people. You know, that's on you, bro. You know, all that shit is not that deep. It's not as deep as what is being displayed on this internet, bro. None of that illegal immigrant shit is. None of that shit, bro. You know, we need to cut the bullshit, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though, man. We on the road to 100K, okay? It's currently 2 o'clock in the morning, man. If you want to hit that like button, subscribe button, and turn on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at you on the next one, and I'm gone. TYP tonight.